Hey guys, welcome back to 3D QuickBooks. Today we are going to learn how to make these buttons as a part of our hard surface modeling that we're doing with this particular walkie-talkie. We will encounter a couple of problems which we need to resolve, but overall this lesson is going to be very straightforward and very easy for you to follow. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so before we begin our modeling, there are a couple of things that are wrong with it. There are two things that are 100% not working in our favor. We're going to fix them. There's a very easy fixes, nothing that we need to worry about, but these are the issues. The first one is when we come here, the topology of this circle and this circle is vastly different, and the reason for that is very simple. We have to do a lot of topology rework here, so that is why it looks a little bit different than this. This is a far more sorted way of looking at it. So this is a very easy fix. I'll just show you all as we go along. But when you click here, there are 22 vertices. When you click here, there are 25 vertices, which is not really ideal. The second issue that we have is the curve that is being followed on the left corner of every big button here is actually a little bit skewered on this side, right? So you can clearly see like this is not aligning up as it should. And if you think about it, they're kind of very similar in a problem. There is a vertice placement issue. So what are we going to do? We are going to fix them very easily. What we are going to do is we're going to take the outline from this and then we're going to transfer it onto this, and this will be a completely different object, so we wouldn't have to worry about doing anything with this topology. So how are we going to fix this? We are going to fix this by taking exactly what this is, bringing it down to the same exact measurements, and then we are going to match these vertices to this, and then it will be solved. And before we get to doing that, I just want to show you how the buttons are laid out so we can map out our expectations properly. And the way, what I mean by that is very simple. Is if you look at it, there is an indent first, then there is a scaling, and then you can see the buttons. And the buttons obviously have a different material compared to this gray one here, and so does this. How are we going to fix the cornering issue on this? The first thing that we will want to do is we will come here, we'll double click on this, the outer edge of the button that is above it, and shift D and GZ, and we're going to bring this down. And what we're going to try to do is we are going to try to align it as perfectly as possible. You can zoom in more if you want hyper precision, which we should go for. There we go. Wonderful. And now when we have something like this, there is only one thing that we need to do. We'll take this outline, the one that we have copied and brought down, and turn it into a separate selection, separate by selection, and that will in turn give us a separate object. And we're going to turn on the subdivision modifier, and the same thing exactly we're going to do here. We're going to turn on the subdivision modifier. Now this time we have to start aligning exactly how it should be. So what I'm trying to look for is the gray part ought to match the outline of this, and if it isn't, that's completely fine. We will work our way through this little by little. And as you can imagine, this I did a little bit of freehand, not something that I would recommend you guys to do, but if it's going to be such a minute thing, might as well just try your best. And I'm just gonna, it's gonna be a play of back and forth. There it is. All right, so we're going to take these SZ0 and we are going to set them exactly here. Wonderful. And GZ, and that shouldn't be an issue because they're exactly the same. There we go. With that issue out of the way, we can actually delete this. Now what we want to do is very simple. We want to create all of these individualistic buttons. I'm going to select this, Shift D, right mouse button P by selection, and we're going to do it for the rest of them as well. Double click, Shift D, right mouse button P by selection, double click, Shift D, right mouse button P by selection, and here is the magic that we want to look for. When it comes to this, all we have to do is Shift D, GX, and make sure that it just aligns as much as you can to the same exact vertices that we got. There it is. Why? And now we have solved the direct issue that we had with this as well. The same thing here. And you might be wondering why I'm not just doing it like this, because it's going to select the edges also, and I don't want to do that at the moment. Shift D, right mouse button P by selection, double click, Shift D, right mouse button P by selection, double click, Shift D, right mouse button P by selection, double click. And now the same thing for this actually, because we have the I shouldn't have deleted the previous one because it was perfectly aligned. And now I need to just take this and just make sure that this matches exactly like this. There we go. Double click, Shift D, P by selection, double click, Shift D, right mouse button P by selection. Great. Now when we have all of these, we're going to select all of them and we are going to put them together by Control J. Wonderful. Now they are all one singular piece. What we are going to name them, oh oops, my caps lock is on, buttons. Simple as that. Now with buttons, what we can do is now we can try to create the whole designing principle that I was talking about. The first one being how far back they should go. And let's do an extrude, right, and let's keep it on Y. And now let's try to play with 0.02. That's a little too much, so we are going to go with GY 0.01, and that might be a little too less. All right, so let's try GY 0.015. There we go. I think that looks nice, and we are going to enable. Just take a look at our this thing again, and now we have to shrink that size and make it come like this. And we are going to select. With that selected, we have not deselected anything, and we're going to do an extrude, right mouse button, scale. And before we scale it, I just want you to say maybe we should do individual origins, because now they will just only do it on the origins. Otherwise, they'll just try to converge at a singular point. S.9. Yeah, S.9. Yeah, that seems to work. Yeah, not bad at all actually. And we're going to do a shade smooth. Wonderful. So it is all working in conjunction with how it's supposed to look. And you know what, I think I could be wrong, but I think we need to create another object which would enable us to create the actual buttons, because this is a separate material and this is a separate material. I just want to be really clean with my topology, because I don't want to be confused later on. You know what, let's do that. We're going to separate this with everything else, and now with everything selected, what I would like to do is I would like to extrude, right mouse button GY, and just make this go. Well, actually it doesn't matter how far we need to make this go, as long as it is here. Wonderful. And now what we're going to do is what we need to do is Shift D, right mouse button P by selection, and now we have buttons 001. Select everything, extrude GY, and extrude and scale. And this is just for viewing purposes. Yeah, this I think this will, yeah, this will work. Wonderful. I didn't think that it would work, but it is going to work. Great. We're gonna do merge by distance. All right, so there is none. Now let's very carefully look at how we are going to extrude this out. Extrude, right mouse button, GY, like this much. This I have to kind of see how this is happening. You know, yeah, I think that that feels completely fine. Extrude S.5 and enter. Wonderful. And shade smooth. Not bad at all. All right, guys. So now what I need to do is I just need to fill this up actually. One here. I'm gonna do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 2 here. Let's see how this goes. Wanna select this. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So this works like this, and we are going to close it up. Great. Oh, I made a mistake here. Two. F and then scroll mouse button 2. Great, not bad at all. Now before we go on, I just want to go in rendered mode and just see. It works, man. It works. Yeah, you can clearly see that. Wonderful. And if we ever have to pull that out more, we will be able to do that as well. I'm just a little bit concerned about this thing. Let's just do an extrude GY. Wait, what is happening? Alright guys, and before I close this down and see how everything goes, I just want to take a look at it in rendered mode. And the reason that I want to do that is there is no bleeding of light. That's one thing. And you have to decide whether if we are happy with the kind of sharpness this is creating. And if you're not, then we really have to redo it. But for now, I think I am fine with it. And now I'm just gonna very quickly gonna close up the rest of the faces, and that will be a time lapse for you guys. And so now this is going to be something very similar. Well, let's try to see if we can actually get this done. I think we can do this similarly. Yeah, completely similar, guys. Back to the time lapse. And so guys, this is how it's looking. And now from the side view, I think we need to bring out the buttons a little bit more for obvious reasons. I don't think somebody would be able to press them even if they wanted to. And we're going to go in 7, we're going to go in wireframe, and we are going to select our outline like this. We're just going to make sure that is what is selected, and we are just going to bring them out just a little bit more. I am going to split my screen here. I am just going to try to see a bit of a better view. And yeah. Yeah, they feel a lot better now, since there is no playbook on how we can do this, or the general height of these things. We're gonna go in rendered mode. I'm gonna take that away. Great, not bad. All right, and just turning on matte cap. They feel all right, you know. Great. So that is not an issue. Wonderful. I think I will start to like this very concrete, like very sharp cavity. That's how it works, and it gives contrast to the smoothness as we go along. I think this is quite wonderful. Very nicely done. I mean, if I must say, I'm not trying to brag about myself, but still. And so, guys, if you liked what we are doing here, please like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next lesson, in which we will be modeling this further, and hope that you'll join us. And I'll see you in the next class.